Welcome to today's hands-on. We'll be learning about implementing and preserving table and column definitions. We'll be following the exact steps. So first things first, we'll be creating a catalog, and catalog we know is the top level governance boundary. Then comes the schema, which is the logical grouping of tables, and we'll be later creating the tables where we'll be doing this kind of operations like inserting dummy values, then working on it. So let's dive into the Azure Databricks now. All right, I'm in Azure Databricks. So first things, let's create a catalog from the scratch. I'll click here, catalog. Let's click on the create button, then create catalog. Let's give a name to our catalog like training catalog. For the storage location, let's select our workspace. I'll click on now create to create the catalog. All right, it says catalog is created. I'll go to view catalog. Now let's create a schema. I'll click on create schema. Let's give a name to our schema, sales schema. I'll select our storage location as same as our workspace. Let's go ahead by clicking on create to create the new schema. All right, our new schema, sales schema is ready. So now we are good. Let's go to our SQL editor to create table and insert some values. Let's click on SQL query. Now let's write the create table, and as usual we need to select the catalog and the schema name. Let's browse our catalog and schema, that is its training catalog. Then we have the sales schema. We have selected it. Now we are good. So let's create the table. Let's click on start and attach and run. It says running. It's queued, so let's wait. You can see the performance as well. So here goes, it says creating table and the duration and the green tick mark. So our table is now created, so we are good. Now our next step will be to add some rows, that is to insert some dummy values into the table to test our governance features. So let's fire the insert into here. I'll click run. Let's see the performance here. It's inserting into and it's fetching results, and there we go. So number of rows affected is 2 because we have inserted 2 rows, 1 and 2. So now we are good. So now let's describe our table. So this is the describe table. So basically it shows the metadata, column types and the governance information. We have the column name site which we have created in previous step, which we can see here. The data types, what like integer, string, like whether it can show numbers or letters, those kind of things. And here we have the date, sign up date, right? So basically describe table shows the metadata, column types and governance information. Now let's learn about the access controls. Before learning about access control, let's do some changes in the column. We can do anytime the changes like the alter table. Then we are basically adding one column, that is phone string. Previously, if we focus here on the create table, there is no phone column there. Now let's say the requirement got changed. I want to add one column. Let's click run selected. And there we go, it says okay. So again I'll fire the describe table to see whether the phone this got inserted or not. New column we can see now it's there, right? Previously there were 4 columns. Now we got another one because we have fired this, right? Because we have basically added one column named phone with data type as string, which basically accepts letters. Now let's say there is a column email. I want to change it to string. It's by the way already string, but let's say in our project use case, we there is a requirement where changing of data type is required. So this is the basically the command. I'll select on run here, and it says okay, right? So looks good. Now let's learn about the access control, which is the grant here. So if you let's first run, and then I'll explain what it does. So it says okay, it means it's successfully executed. So it basically applies governance by granting role based access. If you look here, there this user needs to be created. For your use case, this email id.com should be your company's email, and someone's some users email list basically, right? So this is the dummy user in my organization which I'm using it. So in your use case, it may be someone's email where you want to grant select on the table, right? We have created the customers table, right? Few moments back we have created a catalog schema and the table, right? Table was here, we have created. So this is how access control we can test. Now let's go to our next step, which is, let's say I want to validate an query, like running queries to confirm definition and governance. So the command is simple, that is the select, then the customer ID and the column names, basically whatever we want to select. We can add the phone number as well if you want, the new column, anything. Just this is just for the demo, and there we go. So we can see the name and the users and the email, everything from the customers table. Because if you remember, while inserting the values, we have inserted the two values here. So that's what it's getting reflected by using the select statement, right? That's what concludes the tutorial for table and column definitions for Unity Catalog governance. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Let's meet in our next lecture.